So how do we prioritize our results in LinkedIn? Of course, we're only able to get 1,000 search results at any one time when we use the search within linkedin.com. But again, 1,000 results, while that might sound small, it's actually way too big for what it is that we need. We can't really handle any more than 100. And getting 100 perfect people is really what we're looking for. If we can get to that magic kind of 90 to 100 people, we're laughing. So how do we present our search results within LinkedIn? Who gets into that top 1,000 search results and how do they get there? Well, LinkedIn has its own relevancy algorithm. Like we trust very much, we trust Google's relevancy algorithm or Bing's relevancy algorithm. We trust those algorithms to present us with really relevant results. So what forms relevancy? Well, first of all, they have to have a good, solid keyword match. The words that we looked for have to appear on their LinkedIn profile at some point and in some form, particularly if we're looking at their job title keywords or their school field keywords or their company keywords as well. They have to match those particular things. That's the first thing ticked off, and that's a really, really useful part of that algorithm. The second bit of criteria that they need to have is that they need to be within your connections that you have requested. So we are looking for first, second, and third plus, for example, in our connection strength. However, those who get into the top 1,000 are more likely to be in your first and second degree network than those in the third and everyone else, depending on their keyword match. So if they have a really high keyword match, but they're not really connected to you at all, they probably will appear in your first 1,000 results. But if somebody has a high keyword match and it's a first degree connection of yours, they will appear much higher in search results than that person who isn't connected to you at all. So the connection strength is a really important part of that algorithm as well. Now that one can be a little bit tricky. Do we really want all of those who are absolutely connected to us in order to appear low down in our search results, maybe on page 99 of our search results? Having to click through 100 pages of search results is virtually impossible and we'll never get through to it. So what we might do instead is focus in and only select those particular connection strengths one at a time, making sure that we receive everybody within our first degree network first and take note of all of those individuals' profiles, connect with them, contact them. So you'll reconnect with those individuals about this particular role or qualify, yes, whether or not they're relevant. And then move on to our second degree connections, finding a slightly larger group of individuals within that particular subset, and then moving on to our third degree and everyone else network. So we're simply applying our search filters one at a time in order to receive a relatively easy number of results to manage. But then their profile strength comes into this as well. Now, profile strength is a bit funny. Do you remember at the beginning of this course, I was telling you about the 500 million members of LinkedIn, where about half of those individuals have a really full, rich profile. There's a lot of information in there. It's pretty much their full kit and caboodle when it comes to their resume, their work history, their educational attainment, all of that. Well, those have a really full profile, a really strong profile. So that connection, their profile strength, so they have a really complete profile, which is highly networked. They're ranked much higher. And that, in terms of what actually qualifies whether they have a strong profile, is do they have a photograph? Do they have at least 3 jobs on their profile? Do they have at least 50 connections? Do they have at least 5 qualified skills that they've put in that they're getting endorsements for? Do they have their educational attainment put in? All of these different parts of their profile that you were prompted to fill out when you completed your LinkedIn profile all that time ago. The other half of the individuals on LinkedIn who don't have a very strong or very full profile, roughly half of all profiles on LinkedIn are like this, and they're very bare. They have, for example, 1 job title and 1 employer and that's it. Or they may not even have a current job at all, and they left their role but never went back and completed the rest of their profile because the email address associated with their LinkedIn profile was one belonging to their old job, and that email address has now been shut down. They can't remember their password. This happens a lot. There are also a lot of duplicate profiles on LinkedIn as well where this happens to be the case, whereby people start up a new LinkedIn profile and have to rewrite all of the information that they put in originally and eventually try and find one way to merge their profiles on LinkedIn. So profile strength is one of the elements that goes into that relevancy algorithm. But where it happens is that you are going to find those with really strong profiles appearing towards the top. The reason why that is because of the keyword matching part. They are more likely to have the keywords that you are looking for because you are looking for particular keywords. They are the ones who have more keywords on their profile to potentially match with. Those are the three core factors that go into who gets into that top 1,000 search results that you're presented with in a LinkedIn search. But look, we don't want to take LinkedIn's relevancy algorithm at face value. We really want to make sure that we're the ones who are determining who gets into our search results by adding really sensible criteria. We're looking for core requirements, and we're actually looking to kind of exclude individuals who aren't quite right by making sure that we're only looking for perfect people first. Prioritizing our search results when it comes to LinkedIn, once we start to filter by places like location and other criteria like our connection strength, the number will go down to a point where we're able to get to about 100 results or so. And that's the really manageable part of our search. We're looking for people who have all 5 things and the job title that we're looking for and kind of come from the kind of companies that we're looking for. And there's only about 100 of those individuals. That's a manageable search result and something that will really save us a heck of a lot of time when it comes down to it. There's no point in going through 99 pages of results where we'll get ourselves nowhere. We're looking to be quick, sharp, to the point, spend less time searching and more time talking to candidates.